What's up, guys? We're going to take a highly anticipated look at Masterpiece Sunstreaker. Just arrived in the mail within the hour. And I got it from Chosen Prime. And it came with a coin, which I was not expecting. We got the box, standard fare. Shows all its things. Shows the new Sideswipe that I am not going to get. And we have the contents of the box directly out of the box. And over here we have a wheelchair chasing chip chase. And we have the tragedy and comedy faces, a transforming leg gun, a non-transforming gun, and a Hollywood alien mask face, because that's what those look like. And what we are all here to see, Sunstreaker. Now, the only Masterpiece style G1 Season 1 car I have to compare them is going to be Make Toys Downbeat, and they look wonderful together. Alright, so I was already beginning to transform him and noticed how many different places there are protective plastic, like under the this leg section right here, and you can see some in the inside there, and I think I saw another place, yeah, back here. So this is going to be interesting to unfurl this and see all the different places that, you know, Takara thought that need to be handled with extra care. But I've seen enough reviews of this guy to know how he transforms, so I am just going to go for it. And I'm already loving the process. I love how cleanly those come out. We got some plastic here, getting all protecty. So I guess his thighs are painted, very shiny. So we fan the legs out. The front of the car splits up. The hood is going to go to the back of the butt and become a butt flap. So this needs to scoot back, and that'll lay snugly in there. So we wrap this around the leg, pull the leg out on this little pin joint right here, so we get this side mirror into this slot, into that cavity right there, and that will collapse up, and then we bring the leg straight, and wow, this is reminiscent of the Badcube version. This flap, I guess their flap was on the side, and their flap was on the back, and this flap was on the side. I'm already eager to get that gun in there inside, because the gun fits in this the slot. The feel of it is definitely reminiscent of MP Ironhide, the way he feels like solid, and it doesn't feel like anything's moving around, but you can hear all those like delicate creaking sounds. Something about that I like. These front crotch flaps, what are those? The robo underwear pieces are going to rotate from the back, and once we mess with this, that'll reveal it. But I'm just going to knock out this one leg for the sake of knocking out this one leg. Okay, so the leg has a thing, a little piece right in there, which is going to want to have this out of the way for me to turn that around. And then we bring that back where it was. And the ratchet is very nice there. That feels good. That is definitely going to rub against that paint. And even like as you pull the leg out, it's rotating this hip plate like up and around. And then we flip out the heel. We do a little ditty with the foot. And this feels like it's going to be like the wheels on MP Ironhide too. Pull that out, and then it's on another little flippy do in there. And then we're going to turn that in. Once I get used to that tension, I will be more used to that. A little overly tight, but I could always lube it. It'll be nice once I have this more committed to memory. And then I'll be able to like fly through it. I guess, you know, maybe I should do that for the video. So you get that all flattened up. Oh, I totally skipped out on the, forgot to mention all the car features. Like those lift up. All right, so again with the crotch flap skirt pants. It's going to be a lot of editing on this video. Okay. Gotta get used to that tightness, because it makes you feel like it doesn't want to move the direction it's supposed to move, but it does. It's just really tight. So I'm going to try to be very precise with where I apply pressure, and not, you know, to like the tip of something, but, you know, midway or down closer to the pin, and then also secure it just until I become more comfortable. Okay, so now we see that one of his hips is the right position, one of them is not. Oh man, I'm digging it. I'm already digging it. Look at that bottom of the bot mode already looks very nice. Okay, let's see. I think this is going to do some flip uppening. I need to get this chest piece up so that this window piece can... Here we go, here we go. It's coming, it's coming. This seems tight, but that works. And then we can rotate this around, migrate that to the back. All right, so we need to get these little silver flaps on the back lifted up, and it seems like the best way I can get a grip on that is to get one of these under here and lift that up. And that should allow us to lift this up a bit, if not all the way around. There we go. Now we should be able to lift and extend this all the way around. It seems like a lot of information is right there, and they put it in a extra small little square. The wheels stay. Okay. Alright. So you do that. Alright, so hopefully these will unlock the arms. Something's moving. This little plastic sleeve off of there. There we go. Wow, that's reminiscent of... What is that reminiscent of? I guess like wheeljack. Wow, that is a really big Autobot symbol. He's got a little track right here. And then we need to turn these around. They have an angle change as you rotate them. So as you turn it, it's now pointed inward. And when you turn it back, it's now pointed upward. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I guess I'm going to fiddle with his backpack and then clean up the arms. Ooh, ooh. Alright, and that's going to give us our signature Sunstreaker silhouette. So these pieces are going to come around. So we get this bent enough so that these are now unobstructed and can rotate inward like this. And this needs to be bent for that to happen, otherwise this will not come over the top of that. And this one is a little tighter, and they scoot up on a track as you turn them. And I would like this for this one to move as smoothly as the other one. Alright. There we go. Okay. Now, alright, that's more like it. Oh, that'll hook onto the outer piece. Nice. Alright. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty big backpack, but it's also pretty satisfying how much crap is in that and how much it condenses. And then his arms look pretty simple. Just gotta make sure it's in the place. Oh, that feels similar to something where half the arm, that feels like MP Ironhide, where half the arm, half the elbow goes inside of the forearm and half the hand goes inside of the forearm. And that looks like a masterpiece Sunstreaker. That's what that looks like. That looks definitely what that looks like. Ooh, thank goodness that was not a scratch, but some dusty old dust particles. Alright, and then you get his accessories out of here. And this can tab in with the help of this little tab on these little slots on his back as a tight fit. And it looks like his shoulders block the view of that gun. And it looks like this is a painted gun, and that silver paint is coming off. And this folds up and goes inside of his leg. Let's get this in here and try this out. That's nice. And that goes in there pretty nicely. But there's his accessory deals. I don't know if I need to put on the other faces. But yeah, this seems pretty interesting little thing to try out here. And yeah, that's pretty goofy. That's super goofy. Hooray for that one episode that was also really goofy. But yeah, alright, so accessories. Cool, rock on. It looks like the yellow paint inside of the ears here is a little more splotchy on the bottom and the top. But as far as the accuracy, I guess the accuracy is good. But again, it looks like the same deal over here, where it's a little more splotchy at the top and a little more splotchy at the bottom. But I guess that's pretty minor. That's a minor gripe. The face looks nice. I heard someone mention something about the chin, and I guess, yeah, that does kind of stick out a little bit. Kind of a bit. It sure is an unsightly scratch in the paint. Yeah, that is a little unsightly there. Oh, geez, there's problems with this hand, too. That's unfortunate. I don't know what's going on with his hands in the production of this, but doesn't look like they're coming out too good. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the articulation real quick. He's got some new interesting movements that I have not seen before, like this hand movement goes in and out at the wrist, and that seems pretty cool and new. And his thumb comes out to allow for a safer and more comfortable fit of those pegged pegged gun handles, because the ironhide thumbs sure were really tight. I don't even like to put those on there anymore. And let's see, he's going to have double jointed elbows, which allows him to bring his arm up that much. Very nice. His head allows him to do, comes up from this middle piece, so he can be really, really anxious about something. And he could do the, some sort of head bobbing. He could do the Night at the Roxbury. What is love, love? Baby, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me no more. Playing with toys. What's my problem here? So then his arms, yeah, go over that. I went over that. And then his legs. Once you get the skirt out of the way here, you can bring this up pretty much all the way until he runs into his thigh there, and then this comes pretty far. It'd come further if it weren't for this kibble. Maybe there's no. But that's pretty good, all things considered. His foot does not seem to go much further than that. It looks like there's a little tab right here that's bumping into that. I don't know how crucial that is. Maybe that could be modded if someone were so inclined. The hips do this weird thing where when you pull it out, it rotates this crotch piece back with it, and it just seems like their interaction is a little less than friendly. Or I guess you could just like move it out before you want to do that. It's just difficult to get a grip on it. But his feet then tilt downward at the ankle pretty far, and gets pretty wide A stands, but that looks like it's going to be as wide as it goes. Maybe that. But that's pretty good. It's pretty far. And I think that's the major points of articulation that people are going to be curious about. Alright, so to do a comparison with the other Sunstreaker that we have, the second best Sunstreaker, and before this month, this was definitely the best Sunstreaker, I would say. I know a lot of people out there would defend that Omnigonics thing, but that just seemed to have too many problems for me. I never laid my hands on one, but the design problems and the transformation problems and the build quality just seemed too many problems, and plus the aesthetic was just a little too boxy and oversized. The chest was just too big. But and then when this guy was announced, it was difficult for me to pass because I really wanted a Sunstreaker, but the feet looked just super messed up. And then I saw that, you know, there was a fan version of the transformation where you could extend his legs out and try to center his foot into the middle of his leg a little. And then I noticed that if you put his double jointed things back, that it kind of looks like his skinny thighs are going into thicker legs. And you know, it's definitely not perfect. It's definitely trying to save a bad situation. But I will say, and I just noticed this, that his face sculpt is like sparkly. And while that's, you know, a design choice you could take, I definitely appreciate the smoothness. That looks like a metallic face. And I think that's a much better choice. I'm going to be excited for when Repro Labels makes a kit for Sunstreaker so that I can get those red pieces on his shoulders there, because that's definitely a look that I am into. I guess maybe because I always wanted G1 Sunstreaker so desperately as a kid. And then, let's see, we got actually a lot of similarities between these guys. The door collapses up to the side of the leg. The door window collapses up inside of the door on the side of the leg. The foot's going to be the foot. That's going to be the same for any Sunstreaker. And the backpack's kind of similar, where they both have the real roof and windshield tucked up into the backpack. I would say this one's more clean. This one definitely has more fiddly bits. But you know, it's kind of surprising to see how many similarities there are between these two guys. I think I prefer this trapezoid to the rectangle there. But otherwise, there's not a lot of pros and cons to make between the two. I think they're both really good Sunstreakers. This one just definitely perfects it, and naturally, as you would expect. And I think the addition of all the extra play features, like the gun compartment in his leg, and I think it's a really nice feature that they gave those flip-upable. He's got these little buttons on the bottom of the car mode, which raise the headlights, which they totally did not need to do. And then, of course, he's got the scissor lift, the scissor doors that lift straight up, and they did not need to do that. It's almost like they're harkening back to the alternators or Human Alliance lines with the realistic car modes. But yeah, the stature of this guy, the more I look at these two together on the same screen, that's just such a nice, you know, A stance, and that's just like a lot of in and out and just a lot of stuff. So I can see why there was a lot of people that I don't know how they did it, but they took the top of this guy off and the bottom of the Omnigonics spin out and kit bashed them together, and the yellows don't match and the legs are oversized. But interesting. It's definitely an interesting feat, and I have to hand it to him. Yeah, there's definitely no comparison. I think if anyone wants to get a Sunstreaker, I feel like everyone knows that it's going to be this guy. After 2017, kind of a no-brainer. If you know you got this guy, or if you got your spin out and you really want to hold on to him, then I'd say go for it. Hold on to it. If you have any qualms with either of those, or feel like you need to upgrade or want to nitpick either of those for any little thing, then I would definitely say go for the official. I would have liked it if they would have allowed me to choose my own symbol size. Remember the MP Shockwave? They gave you the choice to put the Decepticon symbol on his chest or on his arms. I think I would have preferred the choice of extra jumbo Autobot symbol on the chest, or, you know, like regular sized Autobot symbol on the chest. There he is with some other Masterpiece style bots, and I think he's good. He matches up nicely. Not too big, not too small. And then we will see what he looks like next to his old school brother. This is the first run of this guy. That seems adequate for me. But yeah, I love it. I love this chest is wide, and his chest is like normal shaped, like a chest would be. Their guns sure look really similar. Yeah, that's really similar shaped guns. But yeah, they look great. Very comparable. They look like they're of the same ilk. They're similar but different, and that's nice. I like it. Nice, nice. So, let's see. I guess I'll move on to some final thoughts. Like I said, the extra play features are awesome. It's a Masterpiece, official Masterpiece. You got to get it for that alone. It's Sunstreaker. You got to get it for that alone. I've always been a major Sunstreaker guy because I always wanted that G1 toy. But let's see. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. If I can't think of a single disappointing thing about it. It's really solid. It's like nothing's going anywhere. It's solid. The transformation is pretty slick on this guy. It does a lot, and it does it cleverly. I don't think there's too many parts of it that blow my mind. It's like I said, this chest business with these coming out. It's kind of like Wheeljack, and then the arms are kind of reminiscent of MP Ironhide. But that stuff's, you know, there's only so much you can do with a rectangle-shaped car into a robot-shaped robot. You know, things are going to repeat. But transformation's good. It's loaded in paint. I don't think there's any die-cast on it. It's got great articulation. It has a butt flap, but they keep it out of the way. They don't give you the option for silver. It's just chrome. So I guess that's one feature that the Badcube guys, you know, excelled at. But I think the gray that they chose for the arms is a nice, like, muted gunmetal gray, without going to all the way to black like on this guy. All the way throughout, it's very smooth. And that's the same color that's down here on the bumper. And all the gray plastic on him throughout. And we have the Countach painted logo on the rear of the vehicle again there, just like his brother. Oh wait, no, I take that back. That's a lighter gray against the charcoal. But, yep, I was super excited to get this guy, and I think you should be too. And go out and get yourself one. He's awesome. This has been Video Syncratic Reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time.